Our next and last teaching with our youth, our adolescents, is faith. Yeah, I have a. Every time I hear about faith, it goes directly to my son, my second oldest son, because he was having a difficult time because of not really understanding the teachings that I would give them about a higher power, but I really left it up to them to decide which way they go with that. So when it came to him, he'd come to ceremony with me to experience it, go to the lodge, and he said he had trouble. He just couldn't find faith. And I told him, well, it's something that will come. I said, don't go looking for it. Because if you go looking for it, you're not going to find it. It's just something that comes to us. So he went away to work for a while and he came back happy and he said, Dad, I found faith. I have faith. And he introduced me to this girl. He said, this is faith. I said, son, not that kind of faith. But anyway, in terms of the Tipi teachings, you're probably going to get the idea of what I'm going to talk about. Because when we talk about Mikwap, again, who are we talking about? Self. Us. This is us. So when we're thinking about faith, it does not entirely relate to a higher power or any power other than the power to believe in yourself. So we've taught them love. Through that, they've gotten happiness. Now we need to empower them by building faith in themselves. And having that faith and feeling comfortable with sharing the teachings they've already gained outside of them. But right now, up until the end of adolescence, we're really getting them to really focus on self. And you'll see that once we start moving into adulthood, that's when we start to go outside of ourselves. But for right now, they need to gain that faith in themselves. Empowering them by saying, you know how to love, you know how to respect, you know about obedience. Teach other people about it or share that with your friends or with your brothers and sisters or your cousins. Share that with them and feel confident that and have that faith in yourself. But we build that inner faith in ourselves because it takes a lot of faith in yourself to be able to talk to your peers. And I remember being in junior high and there was no way that you could get me up in front of that class. Or the worst thing that ever happened and was almost as damaging as residential school was the poetry contest and the speech contests. Because we had no choice. We had to learn a poem or something. And that scarred me for life, being a young person and being told to stand in front of almost half the school and, okay, recite this poem, and that damaged me. And we do that every day to kids. We don't realize. They haven't gained that self-love and nowhere near building that faith in themselves. But we expect them, okay, you get up there. We're gonna beat it in. We're gonna teach it into you whether you like it or not. We're gonna make you say this poem in front of the school, and you're gonna like it, and somehow you're gonna gain self-respect and faith. Doesn't work that way in the mind of a teenager. All we're doing is tearing them down so that by the time they get off that stage, they are ripped apart inside. They're embarrassed. they feel exposed. It's not a good feeling, but we do it all the time. So really focusing on with those adolescents, those uskayak, those youth, let them build faith in themselves. Once they have that faith in themselves, put them up there in that poetry contest and let them shine, and they will. Junior high, I dropped out of junior high at grade 8 because I was an adolescent and I was going through a lot of things. Still being in a Catholic school, which we were put in by no choice. And by the time I reached adolescent, I was really leaning back towards my spirituality and my traditional. So I was not only having that internal battle, but being put through those situations where I wasn't uncomfortable speaking in class, or I was just the quietest kid. I would not speak in class. When I did speak, it was just very quiet, and even to the teacher, and I feel self-conscious if there's somebody near me. I didn't want them hearing what I was saying. Very self-conscious. There was one teacher, I was failing in outdoor education. I was failing because I was super self-conscious about my body. And they would go into the gym, and you need to put on the shorts, and I didn't feel comfortable, so I just didn't do it. So I was failing, of all things, outdoor education, and I'm a land-based learning outdoor specialist now. But I was failing. And coming to the end of the year, that was going to decide if I was going to pass or fail grade 8. So my outdoor education teacher at the time, amazing man, he came up to me and he had heard me talking to one of my friends about, it was during the trapping season. This was February, semester break, break between report cards. And he heard me talking about the weekend. Oh, we went spend the weekend on running the trap line. Oh, we're on the skidoo. It was awesome. I caught 4 marten and a beaver, and he had heard me. So he called me into his, had me stay after the other kids left, and he said, "Hey, you like trapping?" And I said, "Oh, I love it. I know how to do it, and I love it." He said, "Do you want to make a deal?" And I said, "No, what's the deal here?" "Would you come in with your traps and your furs and teach the class?" He said, "If you teach the class trapping in our outdoor ed class for 2 weeks, I'll pass you in outdoor education for the year." Which right at that point, I think I was at down like scoring a 10% in the class. So I said, yeah, because I felt it was within my comfort zone. You wouldn't believe how much faith that built in me and how empowering that was to come in with my traps and have my fellow students, my peers, excited by me showing them how to set these big conibear traps, like big dangerous traps, and putting a stick in there and bringing in the furs, and just seeing that they were amazed by it. That was a turning point for me in life, because it built in me that faith where I started to realize that, hey, I can do this. I can talk in front of people. I don't have to be shy. I know what I'm talking about, and I know about trapping. But just that building that faith in myself that I can do it was a life-changing event. And to this day, I'm grateful to that teacher for recognizing that somebody like me at that age needed to learn self, to believe in myself, to have faith in my abilities. And that's exactly what the teachings are about with adolescents, giving them that faith. Once they believe in themselves, then again, they can start building faith in other people.